Let's see. Hello, 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 fam. It's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker. I'm coming to you today with a short video because I am not going to be on here too long. But I did want to come and let you guys know that I have completed my first vaccine for the COVID vaccination. And I wanted to give you a little bit of information on if you decide that you want to go get tested and what the process is. Okay. So, the first thing that you have to do is you go online to COVID vaccination or whatever, and then you have to take a survey. Okay, so you can either go to a lot of people. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Imani. A lot of people will go to like Walmart. They're doing it all over the place. Okay, so they will find your quickest location of where you can go get tested. Okay, so the first thing I did was I searched up the nearest testing facility near me. And then you can either call the 800 number or you could just fill out the questions. Hey, Eric, you could just fill out the questions yourself. Okay. So what I did was I called the 800 number. You have to sign up. And what they do is they ask you some questions about how old you are and all that kind of stuff. And then after you do that, you got to answer questions like it wasn't that hard, but after you do the questions, what they do is they tell you that you are approved or not approved to go ahead and take the vaccine. Okay, and especially has to do with if you are a like a frontline worker or you're over 55 or whatever the case may be, and you will be able to qualify. So the vaccination that I did was this two-part vaccination. I think it's a Pfizer or something like that. And what they do is they set up your appointment. So if you have insurance, it's fine. Okay. But if you don't have insurance, that's fine as well. You don't have to pay anything for the shot. Okay. It is a drive through. So you don't even get out your car. So the testing facility, they gave me an appointment today. This morning, I went up to Douglasville. The place that I went to was like a mall, and they had it set up like a maze. So when you drive through, it's like set up like something like a maze. Okay, so you go in, you enter all the cars, go through this maze or whatever. And the first thing that they do is they make you fill out this questionnaire. Okay, saying if you had any symptoms of this or symptoms of that or whatever the case may be, they make you fill that out, right? And then after you do that, they look you up to make sure that you have an appointment or whatever the case may be. You show them your driver's license, and then you sign off on it, the questionnaire, they sign off on it. And then the next stop is the nurse or the person that's going to give you a shot. So they will ask you for your ID again. And then before you know it, she goes and get your shot. So all you got to do is like give them your arm. Okay. All you got to do is give them your arm, and then they just put the vaccine in your arm. It takes like less than 5 minutes at the most. Okay. So then after you get your shot, you pull off to the side of the road, and you got to wait 10 minutes so that, if you're feeling any kind of way or having any kind of problems, you would just notify somebody, that you're having a reaction or whatever the case may be. If not, after the 10 minutes, then you are free to go. Okay. So it was very painless, and they was really nice or whatever the case may be. I didn't feel any sort of way, one way or the other. And I got one more shot to do. So you go back on the Oh, and they give you a card. They give you a card that you know that you took your first dose. And then after I think it's April the 4th or something like that, I go back and get my second dose. Okay. And they're saying that after 2 weeks or whatever the case may be, you should be, fully vaccinated. Okay. So, um, but yeah, it was real simple. And I just thought that, I would take the initiative so y'all could watch me, okay, and see, if anything happens or whatever the case may be, if y'all thinking about getting a shot. But I did go and get vaccinated today. And I got the Pfizer, the 2-shot one. They didn't have the Johnson and Johnson. That one is, I guess, 1 shot or whatever. But yeah, I got the Pfizer. It was really quick. You can take your whole family, if you want to. There was people that, it was 4 or 5 people in the car. So, but it was not a long line. It was none of that. So I'm just glad to get it over with. And so I can move on and not have to worry about, the COVID, even though I already had it. Okay. So people was debating about, if they already got the COVID, should they go and take it again or whatever the case may be? I mean, should they even get vaccinated if they already had it? But I just wanted to make sure, and I went ahead and got vaccinated anyway. Okay. Other than that, but it was really quick, easy, and so far no problem. They said that my arm is just a little bit sore, because if you tense up, that will make that muscle kind of sore. But other than that, it's okay. They say you may run maybe a small temperature or whatever the case may be, but nothing that Tylenol won't be able to fix. Okay. Other than that, let's see. We still got freight agent course going on April the 5th. I've been getting a lot of calls asking questions about the freight agent course. Hey Corey, the biggest question that I get, hubby and I got Pamela say, hubby and I got our first dose today. Yes. Protect yourself, because I'm getting ready to have my 50th birthday party, and also my mom's 80th birthday party and a family get together. So I want to go ahead and, be proactive and go ahead and get vaccinated, so I don't have to worry about that in the future. But you don't have to pay for it. It's totally free. If you have insurance, they'll take it. If you don't have insurance, that's fine as well. You still don't have to pay for it. And you don't even get out your car. It's a ride through. So you don't even have to get out your car. Okay. Other than that, let's see. I've been getting a lot of calls about freight broker and freight agent course. Okay. The course that I teach, guys, I'm not teaching you the compliance. I'm not teaching you the contracts and all that kind of stuff. Oh, you got the Johnson and Johnson. So you got the one and done. One and done, Johnson and Johnson. Everybody like that. My mother is waiting on Johnson and Johnson. I told her she'll go ahead and get her shot. She's sitting up there. I want them to call me when the Johnson and Johnson come in. I told her she better go on up there and take her vaccine. So, but I've been getting a lot of calls about the freight agent course. Okay. I do want to clarify about freight agent and freight broker. A freight broker is what I am. Okay. I have a BMC and I'm licensed, and I have to follow, the rules and regulations and all this policies and procedures and everything. Everything is on the freight broker. Okay. It's just like a real estate agent and a broker. What I suggest and what I like to do, I like to teach the way I learned. And the way that I learned was to become an agent first and then a broker. I think it will be a whole lot easier for you guys if you build your book of business. And then once you build your book of business, and if you want to step out there and be a broker, so be it. But at least you'll have your clientele. The worst thing, I feel that you can do is step out there totally unknown, don't know what to do, what to say, how to, book your freight, or if something happens, if a driver turn over a load, or what kind of insurance you need to have, and all these different type things, and how to set up your contracts with these shippers. If you learn how to do that under a brokerage, okay, and it could be a one person brokerage, or it could be an entity like CH Robinson, Coyote, TQL, all these different brokerage companies that you can work at. Okay, everybody that works at CH Robinson, TQL, Coyote, Global Trans, LTD, all these different brokerages. Okay, all the people that work there are agents. Okay, so you can make good money being an agent as well. But the most important thing is to make money. Okay, so let's make money by developing our relationships, calling our shippers, making sure that we're getting shippers lists, okay, and making sure that you can handle the freight, right? The worst thing you can do is get a contract and can't move the load. Okay, so it's a lot to do when you're being a broker, because you have to have the credit limit established. You got to be able to factor. That's a credit, a credit check. Getting your authority is going to cost money. Load boards, TMS systems, all that stuff costs money. So if you can work under somebody, right, before you just step out there and get your own license, it will better prepare you for the road. Hey, Sin. Arshawn is in truck driving school. Sin, he over there going to in Lakeland, Florida. What is this? Oh, American Deli. I don't like their wings. I thought they was the bomb, but they're not. And but you are calling, you're learning, what shippers to call, what to say to the shippers, and all this kind of stuff, and you're building. One thing about my course is, guys, I don't hold you, okay? I don't make you sign a non-disclosure. I mean, a non-compete. A lot of times when people get signed up under freight agencies or freight brokerages, they have to sign a non-compete. Okay. And the reason is you build your book of business, and then you can't take those shippers with you when you leave. Right. So I don't make you sign that. I make you build your book of business. That's all I want you to do. Everybody is interested in, is interested in making money and building your business and becoming a broker. And that's all fine and good. Be a broker, have your carrier authority, have both. It's good to do that. But you got to start somewhere. So while you're learning, making some mistakes, as you will, okay, as an agent, let somebody cover you, okay? If something happens to a load, the person don't pick up the load. They want a truck not used because, you sent a person to pick up a load. They weren't supposed to get it, or the load is already gone, different things like that. Everything can happen. So it's best to be able to work with somebody that can help you and walk you through those things, such as a double blind bill, okay? Such as, how you're going to make sure your carrier gets paid, okay? Such as building up your rapport, building up a relationship with people. You got to send out emails. You got to follow up. You got to contact and build a relationship with these people so that they do trust you, okay? Especially carriers, okay? It's so many brokers out there that have done carriers wrong, that carriers have to protect themselves. So in order for them to run a load for you, they're going to always check you out. And if you're not verified, if you're not, hey, Jason, if you're not verified, and if you're not, under their freight factoring company, I'm doing better, getting better and better every day, just keep it moving. But if you don't do all that and set yourself up for that, it's just going to be very difficult. Not impossible, just a little difficult. Okay. So build yourself up the right way so you'll know if this is something that you want to do before you spend all of that money. I encourage, especially if you guys got 1, 2 trucks or whatever the case may be, and you already got your carrier authority, I encourage you to eventually get your broker authority. Okay. Learn the business, just like you learned the business in trucking, learn the business in being a freight agent. It's so many things that you can learn as far as moving freight. Okay. You can do intermodal. You can do heavy haul. You can do step deck, flatbed. You can do expedited. Okay. You can specialize in tankers. You can specialize in the oil fields. You can have relationships out there. You can work with freight forwarders. Okay. Because the freight forwarder are the people that make arrangement for the freight to get from overseas. So once that taking the course is good, even you don't become an agent, you create better negotiation skills for your carrier. That's correct. Another thing is, like, you can work with a freight forwarder and move their shipments when they come in from the port or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of different things, guys. You could work with hazmat loads, chemicals, pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of things that you can do. And if you just take the minimal risk so that you can learn under, it's a lot, because you got to deal with billing. You got to make sure that you know where your driver, your carrier is at all times. When I was in the hospital, I got a call from one of my agents saying, "Hey, Tamara, I'm panicking because I have a carrier that doesn't understand what a blind bill is, a double blind bill is, and he is refusing to take the load to the shipper. To the receiver. He had picked up the load, right? And he decided that he was going to take the load to the customer, okay? Because he didn't understand what the double blind bill was. So in the hospital, I had to get the number to the carrier, explain to him, hey, this is a double blind bill. Do not take that load to the, I know, huh? All this time. Nadia was a good teacher though, Jason. Nadia was good. Nadia really knew her stuff, and she was really good. But it made it so much easier after, once I got in it and started doing it, it made it really easier getting that information first, and then out here being a driver too, Jason, going to all these different places and knowing how we get dispatched, and you being able to pick your loads and all that kind of stuff. When you step into that world, it becomes a lot easier and a lot better you able to understand. I'm really proud of the ladies, like the spouses that are getting into the freight agent. Because when your husband is a carrier, right, and you become the agent for him, you can find him shippers with the same companies that he's running now. If he's out there, right, listen, if your husband is his own carrier and he's running under his own authority or whatever the case may be, right, and you become an agent, you can get the freight. Like, he can tell you the places he picking up. He can tell you where he likes to run. He can tell you what shippers he like to pick up from and all that kind of stuff. So if he can get those loads off the load board, you can now start calling them places directly, because you are now an agent. So you have an opportunity to get that freight directly for him and post it on the board, and even plan him around so that he ain't running all over the world, the world. If he has a certain route or a certain place that he likes to be, and he has certain shippers and things, you may not can get all of them, okay? Because some of them have contracts, or, they may only work with brokers that have so much experience, or they want you to have a certain amount of, contingent cargo insurance, or whatever the case may be. Okay. But you can pick up the phone just like anybody else, just like C.H. Robinson, just like I can pick up the phone, just like Coyote, just like Global Trans. Hey, Tangela, we are going to work tomorrow. I'm going to do a Zoom with you all tomorrow to go over the contract and get y'all logged in the system and everything like that. We are going to definitely do that tomorrow. Tangela is an agent as well. But if you have a husband and wife team, and a husband is a carrier, or even if you got family members that are carriers, wherever they running or whatever they doing, you can call those, places as well. Okay. To try to get that for your spouse. That it's no different. I can call anybody that Global Trans can call. Some of them want you. And now I feel like, Jason, you know what? I feel like this is a good time for independent freight brokers, because it's a lot of companies, Jason, that has their contracts are ending with these larger brokerage companies, and they are looking at smaller brokerages. Okay, they are giving people a chance, because the quotes and the bids that they are getting from these larger freight brokerage companies, they keep going up and up and up. These logistic companies are going up in price, and they are not seeing a return on their money. Hey, Jack Black. They are not seeing a return on their money. So now is a perfect opportunity for smaller brokerages that can come in with a reasonable rate to be able to move the freight. And I feel like a lot of the larger companies, overhead is so high. You see what I'm saying? Their overhead is so high that they have to charge this amount. But smaller brokerage companies have the ability to move these loads just like the larger companies at a lower rate, and a lot of the money is going out to the carriers, and the smaller brokerages are still able to make some money, because they're not charging as much as the large broker companies, and they have established themselves to get credit ratings, and they look just as good as the bigger brokers. And the bigger brokers are losing millions of dollars in contracts, because shippers are getting fed up. I'm getting open doors from people I would never thought I would get open doors from, like Pepsi, like pharmaceutical companies. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really giving people a chance now to get in there on different freight that was one time as a contract. As like, you had to bid on that. Now that I'm seeing, Jason, that they are letting smaller brokerage companies into their EDI system and letting you be able to go in there and move their loads for them. I'm noticing that, some of the bigger shippers are like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, well, do you have an EDI system, or do you just send a load list? And he was like, Tamara, we could do either, whatever you want to do. If you want a load list, I could send you that. If you want to be in our system, I could send you that as well. And not only that, Jason, is they're setting us up as brokers. They're setting us up into their system. We don't have to go pay an additional couple of $1,000 to be like $1,500 to be set up in somebody's EDI system. We don't have to do that. They are setting us up, letting us in, giving us a login and a password so we can access their information and run their loads. They look at your safety rating. They look at your insurance, your coverage. Some of them may require you to be in business for a certain period of time. You know, they'll go look you up on the FMCSA and all that kind of stuff. Have some references. I have references on the carrier side and references on the shipper side, because my carriers speak highly of me, so that I can be, on the board without having any problems. Okay. And I got to make sure that my shippers will also, speak highly of me, so I can get other bigger shippers. Think about how impressed that shipping manager is when a smaller agent is talking about the EDI system and can handle working inside that system. Yeah. And it's not that, it's just the invoice, the billing system is seeing their loads and make sure you tracking them and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're able to handle that too, because it's a lot of the loads that I may have that bigger companies have too, you know? So it ain't no different. They just interested in whoever can move that load at the most cost effective way, right? And I'm competitive. I'm competitive with the low. I'm competitive with what they got on the board. I'm right there, and I can maybe move it for a little bit less, because um, TQL is a week for training and teaching EDI. Oh, okay. But all of them make you sign the non-disclosures. That's how they keep their agents, is because they make them sign them. I mean, non-disclosures, them non-competes. A lot of times people will sign up to work for these agencies and not realize that non-compete, maybe you don't have no business, when you first go there. But then when you start working and building your relationships and making all these connections with these different shippers and stuff, and then you're getting, big contracts or whatever the case may be, you got to leave them folks there. You got to leave that thing there. I've been out the game for 4 years, thinking about getting a couple of trucks. Good idea or bad. Depends on, your overhead of the trucks. I wouldn't get nothing brand new right now. I would get me a couple of used trucks. I would even get me maybe about a couple of day cabs. Jack, I'll get me a couple of day cabs, and I would go, if you close to like the port or anything like that, I would put them day cabs on the port under your own authority and run them jokers in single loads. You know what I'm saying? Picking up at the port, running up out of Memphis, running up out of Savannah, and not having to worry about running your trucks all over. You can keep the interstate authority, so your insurance won't be high, because you ain't running over 100 miles. You staying right there local in the area. You ain't going out of state, so your insurance will be low. And then everybody will be in day cabs. They go home at the end of the day and run that freight from the port and get a good relationship. I would even get me a container. I would look into getting your own containers. Get your code, your the four digit Ford code. Get you some trucks. Put it down there over at the port. Get your own container, and you can start shipping your stuff in your own container overseas and back if you wanted to. Containers don't cost that much money, and start shipping your own stuff. Use containers. If it was me, yeah, get your SAC code, SCAC. Get your SAC code, put your 4-digit SAC code on there, get your own little container, get your used container, and you could sell the space in the container and ship that stuff. Get you a partner with a freight forwarder and ship your stuff overseas, or get it from overseas. That's what I would do. Get a little warehouse and start storing people's stuff and start charging them to store their stuff. Here's a 45-foot shipping container refurbished for $3,500. Look at this container right here. I would get me a little container. I'll get me a little I would get me a little some day cabs. Hold on. I would get me some day cabs, get me one of these containers right here, put it out there at the port, ship this joker, fill it up, ship it overseas or whatever the case may be. Get a load from overseas and bring it back here and deliver the stuff yourself. You've been cut out so many people that ain't even funny. That's what I would do. Now I'm getting ready. You guys know that I set up the authority. So I'll walk you through the steps of doing that, of what I did. So I told y'all that when you set up your carrier authority and you have a broker authority, but yeah, Jay, get something local. Get something local. You ain't got to run them trucks all over the place. Get you some day cabs, used trucks, keep the overhead down. If you could pay cash for one and then go back and get another one and pay cash for it. And operate your authority. The insurance won't be high because you ain't going that far. And go from there and run it from the port and back. What else? I set up the carrier authority. Okay. So the carrier authority is not authorized right now because I got to add the insurance. Let me show you what it's under. The next thing is to find mom and pop stores that direct connection when it's buyers, especially grocery stores. Yeah, I've been riding around, Jason, looking for shippers. We got a shipper right here in McDonough, and I rode by the place, and it's a huge place, and I'm like, man. Sometimes you got to get out and just ride in your area. What I suggest for people to do is everybody has an industrial park, right? And I went like in Griffin. I'm from Griffin, right? So the other day, I like to go to industrial parks so I could see what's in my area. So the other day, I went over, I got Bridgestone. It's right down the street. Okay. I had, who else? It's another company. Let me show you what I do. Google, let's see, Google Maps. Okay. And what I usually do is, let me see, there's a Bridgestone. The thing about, Bridgestone about tires is sometimes you got to unload them, but they do pay you to do that. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this is what I look at, guys. When I go, some people may look at a load list or a shipper's list or whatever the case may be, as far as looking for freight and stuff like this. This is what I like to do, right? I like to go to Google Maps, okay? And I like to go to the industrial parkway, okay? You see this right here is a industrial, when you go into it, it says industrial road or whatever the case may be, right? So I go in here and this is Bridgestone. What am I looking for? I'm looking for stuff like, do they have, trucks? Am I looking at outside carriers there, or is it their own truck or whatever the case may be? But I try to get a overhead view, right, of the facility. So if you go here, look at that. You can see it's a big facility where they have trucks. All these trucks are not the same trucks, okay? So that tells me that they probably work with different brokers, okay? So I would give them a call and ask for their shipping department. Even you could go by there, right? Go by there, dress up, maybe take them some cookies or something like that. Let them know who you are, introduce yourself, and see what you can do to help them with their freight. You can drive right on in there to the shipping department, ask to speak to the shipping manager, and develop a relationship. Not only do I see that as money, this is what I see as money too. I got this manufacturing company right here. You can't go onto a shipper list and find all this in the area. So what I like to do is I like to also go to the next company. Look at this company right here. What do they do? Okay, pull them up. Look at there. There's a what is that? Steel, right? Okay, steel company. Okay, lumber company. Lumber don't pay a lot, but I mean, that this is flatbed right here. Okay, look at all the flatbed trailers. You see that? Okay, so that would be a place that I would call. Okay, and you just stay in the area and go down the list. Right? This stuff is not hard. Okay, it's not, but you just got to be willing. So you got Merino over there. Guess what's right here? All of them in the same place, guys. This ain't hard. Everybody is in the same place. Look what they doing. He got a pickup truck. Okay, this stuff has to come in, it has to come out. Okay, so I will get myself familiar with whatever it is that they're carrying. So I am familiar with that company. And you done found how many shippers in one place? You got 1, 2, 3. Who is this? Who are these people? Okay, you got about 4 or 5 people that you can call and develop a relationship right there in one area. In one area. Look at the invoice, at your invoice, and see who's paying for your load. Especially if you're a truck driver, you can't go in there and ask for the business, but your wife can. She ain't saying nothing. Okay, you go over here. Look at this. This is one that McDonough is a great place to look at freight. Hold on one second. I can do this all day. I really can. I love doing this. Let me see. You just have to think outside the box. Let me see. McDonough, Georgia. I love McDonough. McDonough got a lot of places. Hold on. Let me see. What's that? Clark. Look at that. So you can't tell me that you can't find a shipper. They right here. All of them right here. Hold on, let me see something. XPO Logistics. But there's an industrial park. There's Lineage, Whirlpool. Go get some washers and dryers. King Mill Road, all those people over there. I get caught up because there's just so much. But all right, Jason, talk to you later. But other than that, after that, guys, you have the opportunity to start making your calls, start building your relationships. Your money comes over time. The more that you work at it, the more that you do, the more that you make your calls, the better off you'll be. And it will just become second nature for you. Okay. It will just keep at it, keep going, keep grinding, keep making your calls, keep doing it on a daily basis, and it just come natural to you. Okay. Other than that, guys, it's 39 minutes. I don't want to be on here that long because it's late. But other than that, I will talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, you can always give me a call. Okay. And here's my website for the class. But I'm not. Okay. Other than that, guys, peace, love, joy, and happiness. And you all have a wonderful and blessed night.